Hey everyone, happy Zelda for Wii U year! It's been a great year for Nintendo, and it's gonna be a great year for Nintendo. This is my video game of the year video. I've seen a lot of these, a lot of official stuff, but I wanted to do my own take on this. Because my opinion really collides with most other people's out there. Now, this is gonna be a Nintendo related video. I haven't been gaming a lot on other systems. I've been gaming a lot on PC this year, but nothing really new. And Nintendo released masterpiece after masterpiece this year. So if you're one of those gamers who can't just enjoy video games for what they are and are like console biased, then you should move on right now. I'm gonna make two picks because I just feel like it's fair that way. I'm gonna take a 3DS game and a Wii U game of the year, and I'm gonna dive right into it without dilly-dallying too much. I'm gonna start with the 3DS. So my nominees for Game of the Year are Theatrhythm, Bravely Default, and Fantasy Life. For the 3DS, of course. Oh man, where to start? I'm not a big handheld gamer. I really am not. I prefer console gaming, but I think I've played as much handheld since Animal Crossing came out for the 3DS. Theatrhythm is an incredible game. People misconstrue this as just another rhythm-based game, but it's not. It's so much more than that. It has like over 200 songs, like 220, 230 something, not counting DLC. Such incredible music for Final Fantasy. You have all of these characters, so many characters. It is really like incredible fan service. The gameplay is so much fun in this. I couldn't stop playing this. It is so hard. Getting the songs on the hardest difficulty is nearly impossible. It is so much more than just a rhythm game. You have a party to create. Your characters have abilities. Your abilities get you certain effects. You have to do battle while playing these rhythm games. It is truly a remarkable game. It was a little bit lackluster story-wise, but what you expect, but with the way they incorporated the battles and equipping your characters with items and teaching them abilities, I feel they could have done more with the story in this. Incredible game. Then we have Bravely Default, one of the most beautiful 3DS games. That's some of the best 3D effects. It has an incredible story. My flaw with this game is that you don't get any side quests. Now, don't get me wrong, there are tons of side quests. Let me explain what I mean. You have incredible amount of side quests relating to the job offers to learn new jobs, but that is it. And most of those jobs in the side quests themselves are related to the main story. Nothing really stands loose. It is just one whole without any separate stories or side quests unrelated to the main story, which is my biggest problem with this game because it's so beautiful. The music is incredible. The story is so deep, and I can't wait for the second game to come out. Bravely Default truly is an incredible game. Game of the Year for the 3DS, Fantasy Life. I have a lot of reasons. I only recently started playing this. I got this for Christmas. So I've only been playing it for like a week or something. Not even. It's the thing I like most in video games. It's freedom. In games like these, when you live your own life, in Fantasy Life, as it is called, you decide where your story goes. There are multiple storylines. You decide which one you pick, when you want to pick it up, and it is only a small part of the game. There's so much freedom. There are a million of side quests, and there's so much to do. You have a house that you can build, you have property you can buy, you can decorate your house, you can build your character, and an incredible character creator. You can train into all these different aspects of life. You can become a warrior, a magician, and level up like a real RPG. You can train as a tailor or a blacksmith. Like, this game is like a million games in one. It is so big, it is so engrossing, and I feel like I'm living this game. It has a great atmosphere. If I had to find a fault for this game, it would be the oversaturation in general. But it fits the style, and I can't put it down. It is the amount of stuff to do in this game. You are living, it's like a life simulation. It's like Game of the Year. 3DS, Fantasy Life. It's an incredible game, it really is. And if you enjoy RPGs, or like me, you know, being able to modify and adapt and create and just pour your creativity into something, I highly suggest you try Fantasy Life. It's Game of the Year because I just can't stop talking about it, and whenever I say stuff, it's completely new stuff. This game is just that big. The story is progressing at your own pace, like I said, and you can make from this game whatever you want. Like, it's a stupid comparison. It's like playing Skyrim, where you have to go from point A to point B, but before you get to point B, you have done so much stuff totally unrelated to what you were about to do, and I love that kind of freedom in games. Fantasy Life, Game of the Year, 3DS. Now, for the Wii U. The Wii U had an amazing year. I had like 7, 8 games to choose from. Like 5 minutes before this video, I still had no idea what the fuck I was supposed to choose. So let me just tell you, like I always say, that's why I made this Game of the Year. It's like RetroDeath's Game of the Year. This is my opinion, you know. You're not gonna agree with me, but by all means, tell me what your Game of the Year is. Because I don't think you guys are gonna agree with me. So let me start by saying what did not make the cut for me. We have Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. When I started playing Super Mario 3D World, the main thing I really wanted was more of these Toad puzzles. I loved these, so when it announced Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, I was ecstatic. It was perfect, it was exactly what I wanted. It did not make the cut because the game is filled, it is a very big game, but it just doesn't feel like a complete game to me. Well, let me just say it like this, it just doesn't match up to the other games here. But it is truly an incredible game. Then, another game that did not make the cut for me is Smash Bros. For the Wii U. As you saw in my 3DS games, Smash Bros was not in there. I hate Smash Bros on the 3DS, I really do. It's not meant for handheld for me. The controls are clunky, my hands just don't react, and it's such a small screen. It is not meant for a handheld. I really do not like Smash Bros on 3DS, but Smash Bros on the Wii U is perfect. It is amazing, it looks incredible, but you get the best out of Smash Bros for the Wii U in multiplayer, local multiplayer, and you don't just always have people around to play this game by yourself. You can't keep playing this for hours and hours and hours. At least me, I can't, you know. It's incredible to have online, and the online is perfect. People complain that the online for Smash Bros is not all that well, but that only depends on your internet connection. I have 0 problems. If I play 10 matches, I have maybe 1 match with lag, and I know that is not my fault. It is an incredible game, but it did not make the cut because to get the most out of Smash Bros, you need to play multiplayer. The last one before I get to my nominees for the Wii U is a game that could easily have been Game of the Year for me. Bayonetta. Now, Bayonetta has a very specific reason why it did not make Game of the Year. If it had worked on that aspect, it would have been Game of the Year. I absolutely mean that. The gameplay in this is absolute perfection. The frame rate is perfect for an action game, no matter what people tell you. The frame rate is fucking beautiful. It runs so smooth. It's so much fun fighting enemies in this. It really is so much fun. The game never lets you down for a second. It looks amazing. It really looks amazing. The one thing I absolutely cannot stand is some of the dialogue in this. Whenever Bayonetta talks, when Rodan talks, it's okay, I like it. I have nothing against it, but every fucking scene has to have Enzo in it and he ruins this game. His dialogue is so super forced and it is fucking annoying to me. It really saves this game of the year. It doesn't make the cut just because of that, because it bothers me that much, which is sad because gameplay wise, it really is absolute perfection, and technically, gameplay is all that matters to me. But there's been so many games this year that you have to have the whole package or you just don't make the cut. Bayonetta 2, fucking perfect. But Enzo ruins it. Now, let's go to my nominees for Game of the Year for the Wii U. We have Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze. I'm a platformer kind of guy. I cannot have this not be one of my nominees. And most people don't take this into account because it was released like in February or something. So most people forget it because then you get like E3 and all that shit and the shitstorm of incredible games. So people tend to forget this, but for me, this is a beautiful game. Then, for me, we have nominee number 2, Mario Kart 8. How can I not have this? I'm a Mario Kart 64 kind of guy. It's my favorite Mario Kart. But this took its place, I think. It is hard to judge. But this game is so beautiful and it's so much fun to play this. It's so much fun. And unlike Smash Bros., I do not need local multiplayer to enjoy the full amount of this game, because in Mario Kart I prefer having a big screen, so in one player you get that experience. So online for this, it's so much fun, it's so beautiful, Mario Kart 8. And then the third nominee for me for Game of the Year, Hyrule Warriors. We'll get back to this in a bit, I have a lot to say here. Hyrule Warriors, third nominee. Now, let me talk a bit more about these games. We have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I told you guys. It is one of my favorite games this year for obvious reasons. I love platformers. When they made Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii, I liked it. I was glad it came back. But I was disappointed on so many levels. And everything except for one point, they corrected it and they made it better. In this version, you have more characters, the graphics look better, but most importantly we got swimming levels, we got snow levels, we got a diversity in environments. The music, got David Wise came back again for this, and oh my god, I can't stop. It is so amazing, and it is hard, and they make the farming for lives a bit too easy, but nonetheless it truly is an incredible game. Like I said, the one thing I really miss in Donkey Country Tropical Freeze is more animal companions. I always loved that in the older games. You have Rambi, but you had Rambi in the previous one, so I don't understand why they just didn't upgrade this too and give you more animal companions to mess around with, to vary the gameplay style. Then we have, let's take this one, Mario Kart 8. As I said, people complain about the Koopa Kids. Ever since I was a child and Mario 3 came out, I loved Morton. Morton's my favorite Koopa Kid, and I love the character roster in this. The game looks beautiful. It has an incredible character roster. Am I 100% happy with it? No. I mean, you take like Gold Peach and Metal Mario and these gazillion babies, but what about Kamek? He should have been in the N64 version, but they removed him. What about Professor Egad? It's missing so many iconic characters, and I do not understand these choices. I don't understand why, but the game is beautiful. It's a beautiful fucking game. It really is one of the most beautiful Wii U games almost. It is that good. And it's so much fun. Local or online, it is almost perfect. I truly fucking love this game. It is incredible. But for me, and it's hard to even find a handful of people who will agree with me on this. Hyrule fucking Warriors. It's my Wii U game of the year. It really is. I had to think so hard about everything, but I gave you guys my opinions on the other games, why they didn't make it, you know? The default some of them have, and yeah, this game is not perfect by far. Graphically, I don't think it even would make the top 3. But as I say, graphics are not the most important thing. But you need the whole package, and the game still fucking looks good. The cutscenes are amazing in this game, so you cannot complain that it looks that bad. And you have to make some sacrifices when you're fighting like 500 enemies at the same time. You just have to make some sacrifices to make it run smooth. Now, the main reason why this is my game of the year is very simple. It fulfilled a lifelong wish of me. I'm 30 years old. I've played all the Zeldas from beginning to end, except maybe 2 or 3 of the handheld ones. The one thing I've always wanted in a Zelda game, and I never got this, is a massive battlefield scene. I wanted multiple races storming against each other with knights and Gorons and Hylians and everything. And just have an all-out war, because the universe is perfect for it. Not only did this game give that to me, it gave me so much more. It is filled with content. You have a storyline that actually makes it work, a storyline that actually logically and feasibly intertwines all these Zelda universes and perfectly explain why these characters could be and should be put together. The gameplay is perfect. Now, I love Dynasty Warriors. I've played it all of my life with my brother, multiplayer, co-op. I've played them all of my life, these games. So I knew what to expect from this. All these people complained because they didn't, even though they made it clear from the start, they didn't know what to expect. I knew what to expect. This is what I wanted. You have all these different types of characters. The game is still being filled with DLC. It gets bigger and bigger, and I still haven't gone through this game. I haven't even finished story mode, and there's so many different modes. There's the adventure mode, there's free roaming, there's all these things to collect and to explore. And what theater is to Final Fantasy, the fan service, you get that in this, and Zelda is one of my all-time favorite franchises. You just can't beat this universe. It is so beautiful, and this game gave me what I always wanted to see in a Zelda. Besides what the new Zelda is gonna bring me. That is the open world they promised me in Skyward Sword, what they didn't give me. So, that is my video. My games of the year. For the 3DS, we have Fantasy Life. And for the Wii U, we have Hyrule Warriors. Try and find me one person who agrees with me. I told you guys. These other... Even so, like I said, 5 minutes before this video, I still had such a hard time deciding. Especially for the Wii U, with Bayonetta, Smash Bros, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, and Captain Toad. And 2014 was an incredible fucking year for Nintendo. It was an incredible year, and I can't wait to see what 2015 is gonna bring for us from Nintendo. Stay real.